I'm John Hanna for CDTV.net here in New York City, and we have Amy Flory joining us from Athens, Georgia. Thanks for joining us, Amy.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Sure. Let's get a little bit of a background about what you do. Tell us your background.
Well, I am an editor and a freelance writer for almost 18 years now, and I've been working with national publications in lifestyle, home design, fashion, luxury, you name it. I've written for travel magazines as well, so a true freelance writer. And in this time, I recognized how much it meant to small businesses, how much it meant for them to get press, to have their story shared with a very large audience. They all needed it. And often I would write 1 or 2 or 3 articles just to make the most use of my time. And once they get a taste of what that can mean for their business and that little shot in the arm of business and sales, they want more. But I also recognize that most people were not comfortable approaching an editor, and most people did not have the budget for a publicist. So my book is really an answer to that. It is a manual for creating relationships with media editors, and it's simplified, but it works.
Okay, so this book is available now on Amazon?
It is available on Amazon, and it is also available on my website, Recipe for Press.
Awesome. Now, let's get, we've had the little introduction about the book. Let's talk about one of these strategies. What do you have for us that's on the book right now?
Well, just pulling from the table of contents, anticipating stories, learning how to think like an editor and anticipate what editors will be looking for is one step of my larger strategy. Strategy would be another key element, because I think sometimes people get excited when they know just a little bit of information and they don't create a strategy or a plan so that they have ongoing press, not just a one-off hit. It used to be that everybody wanted to be an Oprah, and if they managed to finagle that and score that, they could just hang it up. It just doesn't work like that anymore. You need a constant brand presence in a number of different places. And more, I feel that citizen commerce, that everybody is an editor, with so many opportunities of being promoted by way of blogs and online magazines as well as print. It's a saturated market, but it's one that's easier to tap into and to really utilize. So I teach how to create a brand presence, a constant brand presence, not just a one-off lucky strike.
Okay. Now, let's use a case study. The one that I was kind of thinking of, let's say, for example, if you have a shoe store and they wanted to get their brand out there, trying to start up their businesses or do business.
Right. Having been an editor for Lucky Magazine for 5 years, and it was my job to cover independent stores like this fictitious shoe store we're talking about. So I know very well one of the main things that people neglected was to think about this before they opened the doors to their store. All too often I would see people open up and then realize, oh God, I forgot to tell the press. And then they feel like they should be flooded with customers because they've just opened up, but they realize then a little too late they hadn't told anybody and they hadn't asked media to share that. So we never want to neglect the opportunity of being new and of thinking about or understanding the fact that every editor, every writer wants to write about you when you are new. So that is the time to really capitalize on easy press. From then on, it takes you thinking like an editor to make yourself new over and over and to make your story belong in a number of different niche publications Just because you have a shoe store does not mean you only belong in a fashion magazine. For example, I might do a regional roundup of coolest emerging neighborhoods for indie designers or for small independent shops in shopping. And that is a way to make a store be a part of a different story. I might look at the story of the owners, and story is a big word here because we're telling their story. So they might work as a profile, and we mention their store, but it's another way to keep this constant brand presence. And I would do that all day long, and then really create a strategy about how and where I'm going to place these stories. The truth is that the hard part is in the research and in the work up front. By the time you finally create a pitch, you pretty much know it belongs because you've done your research.
There you go. It's true about marketing, because marketing is not a simple service. There's research involved. There's a lot of trying to put all of these pieces together to put out a press release or a marketing idea for a brand or for the company.
That's the truth. And to be honest, I've seen that the process is more simple these days. Truly, an email and a picture will do, and that email does not have to look like a press kit of old. All editors need is a paragraph or two and a picture. That's all they need to make a decision. They don't need an expensive press kit. They don't need a press release that goes on and on. They need you to tell them what to write, and you will be able to tell them where it belongs because you know the publication you are pitching so well. So it's easier than ever to get press, and yet it's still work, and that's what I find small businesses often try to assign this job to somebody, but when they see that somebody just poking around at a computer or reading blogs, it doesn't look like work to them. And so they pull them off of the job and maybe put them on the floor. But it doesn't work unless you work at it. And if you work at it, you are creating relationships, and it won't be that you just get one article or one mention from that. That person will come back to you, that editor will come back to you time and again because they know you know how to work with them. And that's another thing I try to share in my book is that the people who get it, the people who understand what editors are looking for, that they need it fast, that they need print-ready images in high resolution at the ready, within easy reach, those are the people editors go to at a pinch when they just need to fill that last hole. And those are the people that make editors feel good to work with them. Those are the people that get press over and over and over.
Okay. Before we close the part one of this segment, where can people find you, the website? Recipe4press.com, and that's recipe, S-O-R, press.com. And what I am suggesting is that I am indeed giving people a blueprint, the ingredients for their own press. It's really a DIY guide to getting your own publicity. There you go. All right, that's the part one for now. Thank you for listening.